Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to TMUC live discussion. In today's session, we will be talking on INSPERA based exams and ensuring academic integrity. I'd like to welcome Ms. Nomana, who is coordinator and lecturer of the Social Sciences Department. Nomana,
I'm fine. How are you, Maha?
I'm good as well, thanks. So the topic for today is extremely relevant to those who are sitting for the online exams in this May-June session. The coronavirus pandemic is an ongoing global crisis that has caused significant alterations to academia, demanding new regulations and creating unprecedented challenges for both tutors and learners. Given the critical pandemic situation, online exams are inevitable. Therefore, in order to hold them more fairly and uphold academic honesty, INSPERA has been designated as the medium through which the exams will be conducted. So, I will be moving on to some questions that I will be asking Ms. Nomana here. As we are live, also, if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comment section. And towards the end of our discussion, I will just run them down. Let's begin with my first question and the most basic one. Ms. Nomana, what is plagiarism?
Basically, plagiarism is something that taking someone else's work and making it seem as it's your work. That is plagiarism. Suppose that if there's a definition and your exam is asking you to write that definition, you end up writing that definition word to word from the author that you or the book that you took that definition from, and you haven't given the credit to the author or you haven't paraphrased that definition. This will be plagiarized. This is known as plagiarism. In easy words, जब आप किसी और का काम अपने काम बनाकर दिखाते हो वो प्लेजरिज्म बन जाती है. So whatever you are writing in your exam, make sure that you paraphrase. And when I say paraphrase, it means that you are writing things in your own words. And if you are copy pasting some concept or idea or a definition, remember to give credit. जिस तरह अगर तुम लोगों का कोई एक specific quotation है जो कि एक बंदे ने बोली है, आप फिर उस बंदे का और नाम और जिस ईयर में उसने बोल रही थी वो जरूर लिखो. इससे क्या होता है कि आप फिर प्लेजरिज्म के अंडर नहीं फॉल करते हो एंड यू आर नॉट गिवन एनी असेसमेंट ऑफेंस.
I'm so sorry. I think there's a connection. Get back to you. Like I can get the last. Ms. Nomana, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So basically, what you mean by plagiarism is that if you copy somebody else's work and you don't give credits for them, you don't mention who this work is from, that is considered as plagiarism. In simple terms, it's copy.
बिल्कुल.
Like most of the students I see,
बिल्कुल.
copy pasting has become a very common, and that amounts to plagiarism, right? So I've also come across the word collusion. Can you please explain that to our?
Collusion is basically when two or more people they come together and they work on something which should have been done by an individual. For example, our exams. Our exams are supposed to be done by a student themselves. ठीक है, एक student को अपना exam खुद करना है. But suppose that student ask help from his other students or his friends. उनसे कहते हैं कि यार आओ चलो हम लोग मिलके exam इकट्ठा करते हैं. That is collusion. That is against the academic integrity. You are not supposed to do that. Your exam should be attempted by you. You are not supposed to take help from anyone during your examination. Okay? If you want to study beforehand, that's fine. But during the exam, the student should be doing exam on his own.
All right. So if two students have similar work, they have done it together, and their answers are same to same. So would this amount as plagiarism or would it count as collusion?
It would count both. It will be collusion as well as plagiarism, and it is heavily penalized by the examination authorities, especially UOL. If they feel that some students have conducted plagiarism and they have even colluded, there's a very heavy penalty for that. And the penalty is what? That you will be barred from future examinations or any other degrees that UOL has to offer. So I advise students to please make sure that you do their work on your own. Do not plagiarize. Do not take help from anyone, because you are putting your future at risk. You are putting your whole degree at risk, because you are not only going to get lot of students say, oh, हम सिर्फ एक साल का एग्जाम नहीं दे सकेंगे. नहीं, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ लंदन आपको परमानेंटली बार कर देगी, and this will go in your academic record as well. So you don't want to do that.
All right. So basically, what collusion and plagiarism, they, if you are being caught during this act, so you're going to have an academic offense, right? And after
बिल्कुल.
that, up here, you cannot give University of London कोई भी degree आप नहीं कर सकते.
नहीं
This
कर
is a
सकते.
very serious
And
offense.
बिल्कुल, it is. And what happens is that ये आपके रिकॉर्ड में चला जाता है. Even other universities also can find out information कि आप किसी और यूनिवर्सिटी से बाहर हो गए हो, तो फिर आपकी फ्यूचर दूसरी यूनिवर्सिटी से भी एडमिशंस के चांसेस ऑलमोस्ट जीरो हो जाते हैं.
All right. Okay, I've also come across a word known as contract cheating. So is it related to collusion and plagiarism, or is it something?
It is part of the same, but a different definition. A contract
Miss-
cheating comes under. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. So contract cheat.
Connection has a little, but I can hear you right now.
Okay, awesome. Contract cheating is when you pay somebody to do your work for you, to do your
Can you hold on?
assignment, to. Yes.
Just a minute. I need to see my internet. All right. Ms. Namana,
Yes.
you can
Correct.
continue.
Okay, so I will repeat again. Contract cheating is when we pay
You can continue.
somebody
Can you hear
to
me?
do our work, whether it's an assignment. Yes, I can hear you. Yes, contract cheating is when you pay somebody to do your work, whether it's in an assignment or in an exam. That is contract cheating. Like if I'm supposed to pay for some exam, but
Your
I
video
pay
is a little
somebody to
stuck.
do the exam for me. And you pay somebody to do the work, your work, that is known as contract cheating, and that is also against the law. You are not supposed to do that.
So basically someone else.
Bilkul.
Basically, you give a third party an amount of more paper that is known as contract cheating. Okay? And
Yes, and if you are caught doing that again, you will be
serious. I would have going for this contract cheating, so they should like avoid it at all costs.
Yes. Maha? Yes, can you please repeat the question? I think the video got stuck.
Bear with me, my internet is very weak right now.
Yes, Namana, there is a question. I'm
Yes.
moderating in the back end. If you
I
can
think
answer this from Amna Ali
I
is
need to
asking, can
change.
you please tell if we can
So
use our
can you
phones
just
in
give me
home?
2 minutes?
It is not clear in the instructions.
Okay, I would like to ask Amna if is she a law student? If she is a law student, then yes, you are allowed to use your phones and notes because it's in an open book test. But please, I would again repeat, only use your devices to look at your material. Do not use your devices to get in touch with your friends or to take help from your friends or anyone else. It's purely for the purpose. If you have notes in your phone or if you have your ebooks, then only can you use those devices. Otherwise, you cannot.
Great. Thank you so much. We're trying to get Maha back up in the session. So, Namana, you were telling us about contract cheating. If you could just
I'm
repeat it
live.
once more for our students who are just watching right now so that we can clear that.
Okay, contract cheating is basically when you pay somebody to do your work, whether it's in an assignment or whether it's in an exam, that is known as contract cheating. And this is also a highly bad thing to do because it is against the rules and regulations of the exams. And if the examination body feel that you have paid somebody to do, again, you will be plagiarized, you will be marked as assessment offense, and you will not be allowed to give any future exams.
Right, great. Thank you. Now there's another question from Amna. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Ma'am, are we supposed to show them what we are doing on the phone? What if we are looking at our device and they think that that we are cheating? That's a very good question, Amna. I'll let Ma'am
That
Namana answer it.
actually, because it's an open book test, so you don't need to show them, to be very honest. You can just keep your phone with you because it's in an open book test, and then you can keep doing your work.
Great, excellent. So we have Ma'am Maha back. Now you would be able to hear.
Okay, finally some good internet. All right. So last I remember we were discussing contract cheating, right? So
Yeah.
now I'd like to ask you what is INSPERA or IEP INSPERA exam portal?
Basically, INSPERA, that is a new type of examination tool which is planning to replace, or maybe in the future it may replace our traditional examination. Traditionally क्या होता है हम लोगों का कि सारे बच्चे इकट्ठे होते हैं, वो हॉल में जाते हैं, we have invigilators and they conduct the exam. INSPERA is an alternative to this whole scenario. What INSPERA does is that it will start the exam for you, it will conduct the exam for you, it will monitor the exam for you, and the best part is very cost effectively and very quickly the exam will be delivered to the examiner, which which can take quite some time in traditional method जो कि हम लोग halls में जाके exam देते हैं. So INSPERA is an alternative solution. Basically वो idea नहीं है जी technology is the new future. So this is the new future of exams.
All right. So basically, INSPERA is an exam portal through which facilitates both the examiner and the learner. Because
बिल्कुल.
of COVID times, we have come across such online examinations. They were not very common previously, right? So,
बिल्कुल.
in order to also maintain a very, in the COVID times when it's very wise not to go into public places and not to have so much interaction with people. So,
बिल्कुल.
it also helps that.
Yeah, because the interesting fact is this, that INSPERA has been around for more than a decade, but people were not aware of it and it was not popular. It is due to the COVID and the whole pandemic scenario in which people had to cancel their exams. That is when INSPERA gained its popularity because schools could cancel their exams, but not universities. They could not cancel their exams. They had to take exams. This is where INSPERA gave them a solution to keep on taking exams in a safe environment which protects the student and the examiner and any other related party, and still conduct exam in a safe, controlled environment that keeps the examination integrity and honesty as well.
All right. So, don't you think that the amount of plagiarism and collusion, contract cheating, they're going to get increased when system is online? Does
Um,
INSPERA somehow monitor this?
Yes, INSPERA monitors it. Actually, we cannot always rule out, but it is very hard to do cheating on INSPERA, because what INSPERA does is that it asks you to turn on your webcam, asks you to turn on your microphone, and on top of it, it records your screen. आपकी जो monitor की screen होगी, वो constantly monitor हो होगी. Whatever you are doing will be recorded. If somebody is walking by, that will be recorded. If you are talking, that will be recorded. Actually, it is advised by University of London even not to talk to yourself. अक्सर होता है ना, when we are thinking and we are writing, some people have the habit of talking to themselves. It is advised
Exactly.
not to do that, because everything is being recorded and it may go against you. So over here, when we look at these sort of things, that is actually where we can say कि नहीं, जो collusion के chances हैं, जो cheating के chances हैं, वो बहुत reduced हो जाते हैं इसके through. When you are being watched, when you are being listened, when your monitor is being constantly recorded, this reduces the chances of cheating.
All right. So, is there this system of a webcam, right? And the
Yes.
student has to take their pictures. Can you just brief shortly about that? The ID
Yes,
card part.
there is a whole process to it when you start your exam. What's going to happen? Say your exam is on Wednesday at 10 o'clock. What
All
will
right.
happen is, on Wednesday, I suggest 5 to 10 minutes earlier, what you do is that you start your INSPERA. आप जो INSPERA का सॉफ्टवेयर होगे, आप उसको start कर दो. When you start your INSPERA, what will happen? The first thing that you guys will see is that it's going to go through some system checks. For example, our first system check is always the connectivity. It will check, do you have the required internet? Then it will go through your hardware, your laptop, whatever device you're using, whether it's a desktop, it's a laptop. It will check whether you have the right hardware to run the examination software and the exam smoothly. Then it will go give us a check about your environment. It will try to hear whether there are any other noises coming around you or not. So it will conduct these type of checks. After this, what's going to happen is that the webcam will take your picture. आपका एक दफा सारा सिस्टम चेक जब हो जाएगा ना, तो कैमरा आपके पास एक ऑप्शन आएगी जिसमें क्या हो कहेगा, वो टेक अ फोटो. टेक अ फोटो में क्या होगा कि फ्रॉम द कैमरा, वेब कैमरा जो आपके लैपटॉप का है या आपने अटैच किया हुआ है जो भी कैमरा, उससे आप अपनी एक पिक्चर लोगे. Once you have taken the picture, आप next करोगे. Now after this what's going to happen is कि आपको एक verification करवानी पड़ेगी कि जिस बंदे ने picture दी है क्या वही बंदा एग्जाम भी कर रहा है या नहीं. उसमें क्या करना होगा, आपको अपना जो गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइडेड डॉक्यूमेंट यूज करना है. वो क्या है, you can either use your passport, you can use your driving license or your national ID card. I suggest using that document which has the most recent picture, ताकि जब वो पिक्चर आपने कैमरा से ली है और जो आप अपने दिखा रहे हो डॉक्यूमेंट के ऊपर, वो मैच करें. अब होगा क्या कि सपोज करो दिस इज माय आईडी कार्ड. व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू इज आई एम गोइंग टू टेक माय आईडी कार्ड एंड आई एम गोइंग टू पुट इट इन फ्रंट ऑफ द कैमरा लाइक दिस. ठीक है, मैं उसका करूंगी. वो क्या करेगा, स्कैन करेगा मेरी पिक्चर को और उसको मैच करेगा जो मैंने प्रीवियसली वेब कैम से पिक्चर लिया. इफ बोथ मैच, देन यू विल बी अलाउड टू सी योर एग्जाम. जैसे आपकी वो मैचिंग हो जाती है पिक्चर्स की, ऑटोमेटिकली आपका जो एग्जाम जिसके लिए आप अपीयर हो रहे हो वो ओपन हो जाएगा एंड देन यू कैन स्टार्ट डूइंग योर एग्जाम.
All right. I'm having a few questions here from the students. They're basically asking that what if they are using their phone? That's going to be another device, of course. So how are they going to, get? Is there going to be any sort of academic offense for using the phone? Can they use phones?
Phones can be used only and only if they have their notes or their books in that phone. अगर कहीं से भी हिंट हो रहा हुआ, उनको फील हुआ कि आप जो उनसे सॉफ्ट चैट्स ओपन कर रहे हो, किसी के साथ मिलके कोई काम करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो या कोई डिस्कशन में इंगेज हो रहे हो, तो उसके अंदर फिर पॉसिबल नहीं होगा, वो फिर इट विल कम अंडर चीटिंग.
Like, how can you basically tell? Because from the movements and the webcam, I don't think you can show the screen of the phone through the webcam, right?
You don't need to show the screen. to the camera, but you
All right.
are allowed to use external devices. You can even use two laptops as well. एक लैपटॉप के ऊपर आपका इंस्पेरा रन कर सकता है, दूसरे लैपटॉप के ऊपर आप अपने नोट्स रन कर सकते हो. You can have your
All right.
books, you can have your notes over there.
Okay. So, do you suggest that the students do not use their phone in any case?
Well, I would suggest if they have books available with them, that's a safer option.
All right. So I believe that if you have ample amount of material in your books or your iPads or your Chromebooks, so I think that would be sufficient, right? You
Yes,
just
that you are
don't.
allowed to use, because it's in an open book test, right? It's in an
It's
open
also
book
very
test.
easy to use the hard copy rather than the soft copies on the phone, because you're going to be using a lot of time, wasting basically a lot of time in searching for the right website or wherever you have saved your notes on your phone, right? All right. So, I'm going to be asking you another question from the comments. A student has asked that I could be using two laptops, and can I open my notes or any search engine on the other laptop? And if I do so, how would they know?
Actually, they won't know because they are monitoring you.
Yeah.
See, like you can see me right now, this is exactly what they will be seeing. So,
Hmm.
but since it's an open book exam, you are allowed to use other sources to and materials, as long as it's just for material. Do not engage in collusion. That is what they all want. That make sure that the person is doing the exam themselves and they are
Mhm.
not engaging in collusion. Otherwise, you are allowed to use other devices only and only for research purpose.
All right. One question that has been bugging me a lot is regarding like the internet issue that I recently faced. So, what happens if there is a power outage or there is a disconnection or an internet connection error? What happens? Do they still keep on doing the exam or it gets stuck? What happens? Miss Tomana? All right. The same question has also been asked by a student.
Hello, sorry, something just went wrong with my internet. Yes, I'm
Yeah,
back.
did you hear my last question?
No, I didn't.
Oh, all right. Okay, so let me just repeat that. What happens if there's a power outage? Like, for example, I just faced an internet connection recently. So, if the students there's a power outage, the internet goes off, and there's some time for reconnection. So, what happens to the webcam? What happens to the exam and the microphone? These three
Okay, now I will
components.
answer this question in two parts. First, I will talk about internet connection. Now, what happens is that you need internet connection first to start your exam, to go through the system check, the picture ID, and to log into INSPERA and to download your exam. Once you have started doing your exam, you are not really required to you don't need internet. And then again, you will need internet when you are about to upload or submit your exam. That is when you will need the internet again, because once the INSPERA software is up and running, it will keep on working on its own. It will keep on recording on its own. It will keep on using the mic on its own. It will keep on monitoring the screen on its own. It does not
All
need
right.
internet throughout. Now,
Okay.
the second question comes to power outages. What happens is that the university has asked your students to prepare in advance. Now, if you are working on a laptop, your laptop always has battery. Make sure your laptop is fully charged. If you are working on a desktop, then make sure that your desktop is attached to UPS, or there's some sort of back energy back for you guys, which you can instantly use. So these are the arrangements that you are supposed to make before you start your exam, to make sure
Exactly.
that if there are power outages, you have a
Mhm.
backup system. Either back you up your desktop with a UPS, or fully charge your laptop. If your laptop has a
Yes.
weak battery, then get a new battery. It's simple as
Arrangements,
that.
exactly. Arrangements have to be made in advance because you guys are going to have only 4 hours, 15 minutes for the exam.
That's true. And a worst case scenario, if suppose that your laptop crashes due to whatever reason, what will happen is that when you start your laptop again, what INSPERA will do is that it will pause everything right there and then. once you come back up again, you restart again, it will give you an option to start INSPERA portal again. You will press that button of start again, and wherever you left your exam from, it will start from there, and then you can
All right.
continue.
Can you just repeat that point again?
ओके होगा क्या कि अगर सपोज करो आपका लैपटॉप ड्यू टू वॉट एवर रीजंस एकदम बंद हो जाता है, या आपका डेस्कटॉप एकदम बंद हो जाता है, तो इंस्पेरा क्या करेगा, वो अपने आप को पॉज कर लेगा। जैसे ही आप लोग दोबारा पावर लाते हो वापस, आपका इंस्पेरा उसी तरह खुलेगा, एंड इट विल आस्क यू टू स्टार्ट अगेन। तो जहां से आपने रोका होगा ना, वहीं से दोबारा आपका एग्जाम स्टार्ट हो जाएगा। आपका कोई मटेरियल लूज नहीं होगा, बिकॉज इंस्पेरा के अंदर एक बिल्ट इन फीचर है कि वो हर 5 to 7 सेकेंड्स आपका काम सेव करता है। सो यू विल नॉट बी एट अ लॉस ऑफ वर्क। आपको ये फियर नहीं करना कि वो मैंने जो इतना बड़ा क्वेश्चन किया था वो सारा डिलीट हो गया। सिर्फ 5 to 7 सेकेंड्स का जो राइटिंग होगी ना, वो आपकी मिस होगी, उसके अलावा नहीं मिस होगी।
Alright.
But it is advised, if this happens, please क्यूरीज जरूर लॉन्च करो जाके अपने पोर्टल पे। लेट द यूनिवर्सिटी नो दैट दिस इशू हैपेंड।
Definitely. Inquiry is very, very important. If there is any sort of problem, the University of London will always be there. They can reply to your inquiry. And of course, all right. So another question, I really like these questions actually. They're very interesting. So the student is asking, can we move away from the screen for any reason? For example, if they want to go to the bathroom or anything.
Yes, they can move away. Bathroom breaks are allowed, but what you are supposed to do is that make sure you are not away for too long. 5 minute की break, 6 minute की break, इससे ऊपर नहीं, because the moment you get up and you move away from the screen, आपका red flag tag हो जाएगा। red flag का मतलब है कि right at the moment you got up, suppose कि आप 11 o'clock उठे हो, 11 o'clock पे आपका जो इंस्पेरा ना वो red flagged हो जाएगा। red flagged होने का पता है मतलब है कि जब आपका एग्जामिनर आपका एग्जाम चेक कर रहा होगा, वो स्पेसिफिकली जाके चेक करेगा कि 11 बजे बच्चा कहाँ गया था। और एक वंस यू लीव योर स्क्रीन, व्हाट द एग्जामिनर इज गोइंग टू डू इज कि वो आपकी वीडियो को रिव्यू करेगा फिर। और वो रिव्यू किस तरह करेगा कि वो आपका काम बिफोर you went for the bathroom break and the work you did after the bathroom break. Suppose करो कि आप पहले stuck हुए हो, आप लगे हुए हो कि यार मुझे आंसर नहीं समझ आ। You leave the screen for 5 minutes and suddenly you come back and you're tuck, you are like writing at a super speed.
It's
examiner ने क्या एग्जामिनर ने आपके ऊपर असेसमेंट ऑफेंस लगा देनी है, कहना है कि बिकॉज उनको लगेगा कि तुम कहीं से हेल्प लेकर आए हो। अगर आपका काम वैसा ही है जैसा पहले था बिफोर द ब्रेक, then nothing to worry about. You are safe.
All right. So is the red flag going to pop up on the screen or what?
Actually, what we are hearing from our EMFS students is कि red screen जब आप कुछ करते हो तो red flag आपको पता चल जाता है कि आप इस particular point of time पर red flag हो गए हो।
All right. All right. There was a comment about the MacBook version, right? So Simon Askey has sent an email to the students regarding that, and I believe the confusion will be sorted, and the updated version will be ready for downloading. So those students who have a MacBook, they should download the latest version that is available in your emails from Simon Askey. All right. Okay. Before going on to another question, let me just run down through the comments. And yes, there is a comment about the MacBook, and you can download the latest version from the email. Okay. So
okay, I just saw a very interesting question over here. Do we have to show the room before the exam?
Oh yes.
Yes, you have to.
Okay, so you can turn your laptop screens.
बिल्कुल। जब आप का सिस्टम रन हो रहा होगा ना, जिसके अंदर आपका वेबकैम और माइक चेक कर रहा होगा, तो उसमें होगा क्या कि आप उस वक्त आपको बोला जाएगा प्लीज शो योर सराउंडिंग। तो उसमें आप अपना लैपटॉप उठाओगे एंड यू विल rotate. Like suppose if this is my laptop, I'm going to rotate like this, पूरा 360 घूमोगे आप अपना और सारा दिखाओगे कि आप कमरे में अकेले हो. This is going to be a recording और जो कि एग्जामिनर चेक करेगा जब वो आपका एग्जाम चेक कर रहा होगा कि जब आपका एग्जाम स्टार्ट होने लगा था तो आप क्या रूम में अकेले थे? There was no one in the room. So yes, you will have to show your room.
All right. So a student came to me and he had this amazing plan of first showing around the room, and then after he has showed around, then a person comes in. So is that detectable?
Yes. If that person is making even a slight noise, and they hear something, then obviously. और एक बहुत important चीज है.
I'd like to welcome, sorry to cut you, I'd like to welcome Mr. Sheikh Waqas, Head of Law Department. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalamualaikum. Ma'am, sorry, I hate to barge in, but कुछ चीजें मैंने ऐड करनी थी. I was seeing the questions. कुछ एडवाइस मैं देना चाह रहा था to the students के whenever you are preparing for exams, it's very easy to say कि जी मैं notes से copy कर लूँगा, मैं ये कर लूँगा, मैं वो कर लूँगा. I can open 2 laptops. I was reading the chat as well. Simple मेरे हिसाब से if I were to give the exams, मेरी strategy क्या होती? I would print out my notes. I would make good structures. जो मेरी assignments हैं उनमें से अच्छे structures बना के मैं उन notes को connect करूँगा. मैं स्टिकी नोट्स जो छोटे छोटे बड़े क्यूट से आजकल मार्केट में मिल जाते हैं कलरफुल से, वो लेके मैं उसको ऐड कर दूंगा अपने नोट्स को और अपने स्ट्रक्चर्स को एक कनेक्शन बना के उसकी एक सेंस बना लूंगा ताकि पेपर में, क्योंकि देखिए लास्ट टाइम वी हैड 5 hours टू राइट द एग्जाम, दिस टाइम वी हैव 4 hours and 15 minutes. 15 minutes में लोग बाज पैनिक भी कर जाते हैं. मेरे जैसे बच्चे जब पेपर देते थे पैनिक कर जाते थे. सो इस साल मेरी एडवाइस ये होगी कि स्ट्रक्चर्स को लिंक अप कर लें अपने नोट्स के साथ जो आपने आंसर्स बनाए हुए, एंड यू विल बी गुड टू गो, रादर देन बिलीविंग इन सर्टेन थिंग्स जो कि चीटिंग में आती हैं, एकेडमिक डिसऑनेस्टी में आती हैं. वी शुड प्रमोट एंड वी स्टूडेंट्स जो के हैं, स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ द लॉ स्पेशली, आपने कल को इस मुल्क के लीगल प्रोफेशन को आगे लेके जाना है, रादर देन थिंकिंग अबाउट कि मैं अनप्रोफेशनल या कॉल्ड फॉर मीन्स की तरफ जाऊंगा. इट वुड बी बेटर कि फोकस एक अच्छे तरीके से करें ताकि कल को जब आप किसी जगह पे जॉब करने जाएं या आप एक कोर्ट रूम में खड़े हो जाके तो आपके अंदर कंटेंट हो, रादर देन कि आपने किसी और अनफेयर मीन्स के थ्रू पेपर को क्लियर किया हुआ हो. अगेन आई वुड लाइक टू कॉशन, कुछ स्टूडेंट्स ने पेपर्स अपेयर किए अभी जो पायलट रन था उसके अंदर जो अभी यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ लंदन ने किया था, विच क्लोज्ड ऑन आई बिलीव 29th. उसमें स्टूडेंट आल्सो रिपोर्टेड कि उसने सिर्फ अपने फोन की तरफ देखा 2 सेकंड को, 3 सेकंड को, एंड देयर वाज अ वार्निंग साइन ऑन द स्क्रीन. सो रादर देन टेकिंग दिस लाइटली कि हम कोई और चीज अटैच कर लेंगे, हम कुछ और कर लेंगे, माय 2 cents वुड बी कि आप जो है अपने जो अवेलेबल मटेरियल है उसके ऊपर काम करें, कंटेंट के ऊपर काम करें, क्रिस्प आंसर्स लिखें. आप अपने ये देख लें कि आंसर्स जो हैं उसको आपने टर्निट इन एक्सेस है, TMUC हैज इट, आप उसके थ्रू रन करवा लें, प्लेजरिज्म रन करवा लें, गेट इट एलिमिनेटेड. ओवर टू यू, सॉरी टू बार्ज इन अगेन.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, sir. Student is asking, after the 4 hours and 15 minutes, what happens if there is a shutdown or any power outage right before that?
लेकिन जैसे मैम नुमाना ने बताया था अभी, शी वेरी राइटफुली एक्सप्लेन्ड इट कि वो सिस्टम ऑटोमेटिकली चीजों को स्टोर कर रहा होगा. सो देयर इज नॉट एन इशू. लास्ट टाइम यही इश्यूज फेस हो रहे थे कि एट द वेरी लास्ट मोमेंट बाज बच्चों के इंटरनेट कनेक्शन जो थे वो स्टेबल नहीं थे, और एट द टाइम ऑफ अपलोडिंग लास्ट मोमेंट पे वो कर रहे थे. मुझे अभी भी याद है 3:12 पे 14 मिनट के ऊपर अपलोड हो रहा था, और उस टाइम पे इंटरनेट कनेक्शन स्टेबल नहीं था और लाइट गई और बात खत्म हो गई. इस साल आसानी ये हो जाएगी, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ लंदन ने जो सिस्टम बनाया है उसमें फायदा ये हो जाएगा कि ऑटोमेटिकली डाटा सेव हो जाएगा. मैम नुमाना, करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग, ऑटोमेटिकली सिस्टम स्टोर करता जाएगा और बच्चा जो भी अगर एक लाइन भी उसने लिखी है वो ऑटोमेटिकली अपडेट होती जा रही है. द गुड पार्ट इज कि वहां पे आपको पहले होता था आपको इंक्वायरी टैब में जाना होगा, आप अपने लैपटॉप पे लिख रहे हैं, ब्लू स्क्रीन आ गई, आप अपने इंक्वायरी टैब में जाएंगे, इंक्वायरी टैब इतना क्लॉग्ड होता था कि उसको ओपन होने में 5-7 मिनट लग जाते थे. अभी आपके पास सामने स्क्रीन के ऊपर आ रहा है, टाइमर चल रहा है, आपका वो टाइमर इंक्रीज कर दें. ये साइमन की, जैसे महा आपने मेंशन किया था कि साइमन ने एक ईमेल की है, everyone should read that email in full. उस ईमेल में उसने इतना क्लियरली बताया है, सिनेरियोज बताए हैं 30 मिनट्स वो एक्स्ट्रा दे रहे हैं, जिस किसी का इशू होगा वो 30 मिनट्स में वो उस चीज को रिजॉल्व करके उसको टाइम एक्स्ट्रा दे देंगे और बहुत इजीली आप उस चीज को कोप अप कर सकते हैं. आई होप दैट आंसर्स योर क्वेश्चन.
Yes, thank
And
you
there's
so
one
much.
more point I would like to add to this कि University of London ने बोला है कि since we know that we can run into issues right in the end, please make sure कि you are done with your work at least half an hour. Always give yourself 15 to 20 minutes of margin for these sort of issues because आपको
बिल्कुल.
पता है कि issue आ सकता है. So the university has recommended अगर 4 hours 15 minutes है तो आप last minute तक नहीं wait करो to upload your exam. Get done with your exam at least minimum 20 to 25 minutes before ताकि you can upload your exam. If there are internet issues you can sort that out. If you have power outage issues you can sort that out. अपने आप को इतना margin दो. And sir, I loved your advice about making notes and preparing beforehand. If you guys have done that, then you don't need to keep your phones and all these sort of things.
Absolutely, that's right. Okay, let's come back to plagiarism, which people take for granted because they don't think that this is a serious offense. They don't know the repercussions or the implications that it attracts. So, what percentage of plagiarism is acceptable?
From what I know, it's 19%. If you are under 19%, then you are fine. But if it's more than that, then it's not.
And your paper is going to be cancelled?
Plagiarized assessment offense लग जाएगी आप पे.
All right. And also when any offense or red flag is seen in your exam, so I believe that your results will also get delayed because then they have
Yes.
to go through the checking process. They have to review the video.
They ask you for a justification.
Exactly. They ask you for a justification and that takes a lot of time. So अगर आपके पेपर पे academic offense लग रहा है या कोई red flag raise हुआ है, so it's going to delay your results.
And if you
Exactly, because it happened with our EMFS students and their results got delayed. They got their results in December, like exams पिछले के हुए हुए जब उनका अगस्त में जब आना था, मई के अंदर एग्जाम्स हुए हैं, अगस्त में रिजल्ट आना है, उनके रिजल्ट आए थे दिसंबर जनवरी में जाकर. अब
Oh my God.
you can
That's
imagine, yeah.
let's do progression in the degree.
And that's definitely going to affect their progression in the degree. जितना आपका
It
late
will,
result
it will.
आएगा, उतना ही फिर आपकी late registrations होगी for the next year, right? So this is it about plagiarism for now. Another thing that I'd like to ask you is that plagiarism is checked on INSPERA, right? It's
Bilkul.
inbuilt. So
It's
do
inbuilt.
they use Turnitin or is it their own system for checking plagiarism?
They use both the systems. What happened is that there is a plagiarism tool that is built in INSPERA as well. The moment you submit your exam, automatically plagiarism tool will run on it. It can be INSPERA built in and it can be Turnitin as well. And when the exam is sent to the examiner, the plagiarism report will be attached to it. So जब examiner आपका exam खोलेगा, वो साथ आपकी plagiarism report भी खोलेगा. वो दोनों चीजें उसको side by side मिलेंगी. So yes, the moment, literally the second you submit, आपके exam के ऊपर plagiarism run होगी.
So Vikas, I have a question for you. Since you're from the law department, sir, can you please answer? Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, sir, for example, like we're quoting cases and the judgments, if we want to quote a judgment in an answer, so what do we do about that? How will we quote, like if we our judgment is very relevant to our answer? So, do we pick up the exact words or what do we do about it? Like, would plagiarism nahi count hoga phir?
The safer option would be to summarize the judgment in a student's own mind और अपने words में उसको paraphrase करके लिख लें. But अगर इतना important है, for example, the law Denning is famous in amongst all the law students. First year में तो LSM का paper is mostly about law Denning. तो उसमें अगर हमने उस तरह की कोई statement है, जैसे jurisprudence के paper में होती है, उस तरह की अगर हमने कोई बात करनी है, तो any student can write it, उसको inverted commas में बात कर ले. और साथ अगर फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम डूइंग कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का पेपर फॉर एग्जांपल और मैं उसमें कोई कोटेशन लिख रहा हूँ, कोई बुक की बात एज इट इज लिख रहा हूँ, तो बड़ा सिंपल तरीका इन्वर्टेड कॉमास में मैं उसको लिखूं, इटैलिक्स में ले जाऊं उसको, कंट्रोल आई आपने प्रेस करना होता है उस वर्ड को सिलेक्ट करके, वो इटैलिक्स में चली जाती है एंड इवेंचुअली मैं ब्रैकेट्स में एंड में लिख दूंगा इवन मैकेंड्रिक 10th 11th एडिशन, तो उससे एग्जामिनर को ये चीज पता लग जाएगी कि मैंने ऑल दो ये चीज वहां से उठाई है, बट आई एम गिविंग ड्यू क्रेडिट टू द पर्सन हु हैज रिटन इट, और जिसकी ये बात हुई हुई है. सो इट विल नॉट कम अंडर प्लेजरिज्म, एंड आई बिलीव Simon Askey has also clarified this in his recent email with regards to citing cases. Cases लिखने हैं, ब्रैकेट्स लगाएं, आप उस चीज को लिख लें आराम से. नो नीड टू वेस्ट, जैसे रिटन पेपर्स में होता था कि डिफरेंट कलर से लिख रहे हैं, उसको अंडरलाइन, कोई जरूरत नहीं. ब्रैकेट्स लगाएं, केसेस लिखें एंड मूव फॉरवर्ड. इसी तरह ही कोटेशंस हैं, इन्वर्टेड कॉमर्स में डालें एंड मूव फॉरवर्ड.
ऑल्सो कोटेशंस डालते हुए जस्ट मेक श्योर दैट स्पेसेस ना हो, वो कोटेशन बिल्कुल राइट नेक्स्ट टू द लास्ट लेटर हो, so that वो quotation ही लगे. Okay. So now, sir, I have also come across some softwares that students use. Basically, what these softwares do is that they rephrase that whole script in such an absurd manner.
No.
Yes, like I came across humans लिखा था sir, और उसको Homo sapiens कर दिया था software ने.
You are giving ideas to the students.
नहीं तो वो बिल्कुल मतलब वो डिटेक्ट हो जाएगा.
फ्रेंड का एपिसोड याद आ गया जिसमें जोई ट्रिबियानी वाज राइटिंग अ स्पीच फॉर चैंडलर, तो उसमें भी होमो सेपियंस और उस तरह की बातें हो रही थी. आई वुड लाइक टू ऐड, आई गेट योर क्वेश्चन, आई वुड लाइक टू ऐड हियर कि देखें कुछ सॉफ्टवेयर हैं वी हैव एनकाउंटर्ड, क्योंकि हमने ऑनलाइन एग्जाम कंडक्ट कराए हैं. लास्ट ईयर भी बच्चों ने कुछ ने ऐसे बनाए और उनको अनपेड सॉफ्टवेयर के थ्रू टर्निंग या प्लेजरिज्म चेक किया, सिमिलैरिटी चेक की. इवेंचुअली व्हाट हैपेंड वाज के पेपर में उनको प्लेजरिज्म काउंट बहुत हाई आया था. सो इसमें मैंने शुरू में चीज क्लैरिफाई की थी कि रादर देन ऑप्टिंग फॉर सर्टेन मेजर्स, students can send in their answers to us. We can run it through plagiarism with a guarantee that it will be deleted from the Turnitin जो repository है. We have that option. We have that paid software. इंटरनेट के ऊपर आपको बहुत सारे सॉफ्टवेयर मिल जाएंगे जो कि इस चीज को आपको कहेंगे कि जी गारंटीड एवरीथिंग, वो उनके रिपोजिटरी में स्टोर हो जाता है. कमिंग टू द क्वेश्चन आपका जो था कि वो पैराफ्रेज हो जाता है, अजीब अजीब वर्ड्स आ जाते हैं. Obviously, हम लोग टीचर्स हैं, हम we can easily understand. Ma'am Nomana will also agree with me, and Ma'am you will also agree with me. Whenever we read an assignment, हमें बहुत आसानी से समझ आ जाती है कि बच्चे ने वो खुद की है या उसने कहीं हेल्प लेके उसको कहीं लेफ्ट राइट किया है या स्पिन किया है उस आर्ग्यूमेंट को. That is very easy to understand. And comparatively, University of London के examiners who have loads and loads of years of experience, तो वो तो हमारे से भी बहुत आगे हैं. So rather than doing that, अल्लाह ने हाथ दिया है, दिमाग दिया, उस पर यकीन रखें, इजीली चीजें हो सकती हैं.
और सर ये भी तो है ना कि जो एग्जामिनर्स हैं वो पहले प्लेजरिज्म वगैरह चेक करने से पहले वो खुद भी तो पढ़ रहे हैं. दिस जो ये सॉफ्टवेयर वाले सिनेरियो है, दिस इज सो इजीली डिटेक्टेबल फ्रॉम इवन अ ह्यूमन कैन डिटेक्ट कि ये सॉफ्टवेयर यूज हुआ है.
बिल्कुल
जैसे अभी जिस तरह महाबी सर ने बात बोली है कर सकते हैं. Like I would like to add another point to this is कि या जब आप सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करते हो ना, एक तो डिफरेंट वर्ड्स आ जाते हैं. What else happen is as well कि यार मतलब ही चेंज हो जाता है सेंटेंस का, क्योंकि जिस तरह सर ने बड़ी मजे की बात बोली थी, यार हम टीचर्स हैं, we have been doing this work for so long कि हम लोगों को फौरन पढ़ के पता चल जाता है कि यार इस पे पैराफ्रेजिंग सॉफ्टवेयर लगा है या नहीं लगा हुआ. Because the sentence changes, the structure changes, the meaning changes. ठीक है, so we would not advise students to use paraphrasing softwares because एक तो वो अजीबोगरीब words प्लस वो सेंटेंस का मतलब चेंज कर देते हैं. और अगला एग्जामिनर तो हमसे भी एक्सपीरियंस्ड बंदा बैठा हुआ है, उसको तो फौरन पता चल जाएगा यार किस बच्चे ने पैराफ्रेजिंग सॉफ्टवेयर लगाया है, पढ़ने से ही पता चल जाता है.
Agreed, I totally agree.
Students जो because in class they tend to write similar notes during lectures.
I would strongly advise, जैसे मैंने पहले बात की थी, structures and answers. पहले से answers बनाएं, answers बना के उनको Turnitin से रन करवा लें. Turnitin से रन करवाने से होगा आपको एक रिपोर्ट जो इतनी डिटेल्ड रिपोर्ट आती है 1% प्लेजरिज्म तक वो पकड़ लेता है. जो सोर्सेज हैं उसमें फ्लैगिंग हो जाती है, रेड फ्लैग से आपको पता लग जाता है कि जी चीज जो है मसला खराब है, उस चीज को आपने काउंटर करना है. फिर डिफरेंट कलर्स हैं, उनसे आपको अंदाजा हो जाता है. वी कैन इजीली मैनेज दैट. और प्लानिंग बिफोर हैंड हो जाए और उस चीज को आप पहले एलिमिनेट कर दें तो बहुत आसानी से हो जाएगा. वन मोर थिंग दैट आई वुड लाइक टू मेंशन, लास्ट ईयर एक चैलेंज जो फेस हुआ था कि ड्यूरिंग द एग्जाम टाइम बच्चों ने जो था कुछ आंसर्स अपलोड किया, पर मैं लिख रहा हूँ आंसर, मुझे किसी ने भेज दिया हुआ था पहले से, जैसे मिस्टर प्रेजेंटेशन के ऊपर ऐसे आया हुआ था कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के पेपर में, मुझे किसी ने भेज दिया हुआ था, मैंने देखा, मुझे उसने जब भेजा तो उसने कहा कि यार देख लेना प्लेजरिज्म, इसका एलिमिनेट कर लेना। मैंने ऑनलाइन किसी सॉफ्टवेयर पे ड्यूरिंग द एग्जाम डाल दिया और एग्जाम फाइनल में 100% प्लेजरिज्म की तरफ वो चीज चली गई। सो वी शुड अवॉइड प्रैक्टिसिंग दीज थिंग्स। हमें वो जैसे मैंने कमेंट में भी लिखा था, बेटर सेफ देन सॉरी, वी शुड बी प्रोएक्टिव, पहले से उसको काउंटर कर लें अनफेयर मीन्स को हटके। मैं आई वुड स्ट्रांगली एडवाइज, अगर मैं एक एडवाइस करना चाहूँ बच्चों को, इट डजंट मैटर इफ यू गेट अ डिस्टिंक्शन और अ मेरिट और अ क्रेडिट, as long as, trust me, as long as you have done your best, as long as you have done your exams with full commitment and keeping in mind the academic honesty and integrity, you are going to go along with the journey. Might be difficult, but eventually आप बहुत आगे होंगे उन लोगों से जो कि unfair means के through papers है।
Very well said, sir. Very well said.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. So we'll also have a recording available of this session for those who did not watch it right now. They can log in to their Instagram or Facebook later and watch it. So basically, our session was regarding INSPERA, how INSPERA works, how it monitors the student, and then when plagiarism comes, what percentage of plagiarism is acceptable, how can a student avoid plagiarism and remain in the realms of academic integrity and academic honesty. Then we have also discussed the repercussions, that if any academic offense gets attracted towards your paper, what will be the outcome of that? Your paper, you will be disbarred, your paper will be cancelled, आप फिर यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ लंदन की डिग्री नहीं कर पाओगे, right? So, summing up all of this, what is the future of online examinations? Ms.
Very
Normana
bright.
and Survival, this question is for you.
Very
What is the
bright.
future?
It is the future. INSPERA is the future, because I'm noticing a new trend that more and more universities abroad are moving towards this concept of online examination, because one thing, it is very cost effective and it is time saving. Suppose जिस तरह पेंडेमिक्स आ जाते हैं उसमें एग्जामिनर्स डोंट नीड टू वरी अबाउट एनीथिंग। कॉस्ट सेविंग इस तरह होती है कि व्हेन हम बीच में थर्ड पार्टी को डालते हैं, जिस तरह पाकिस्तान में ब्रिटिश काउंसिल है यार, इट्स क्वाइट एक्सपेंसिव फॉर बोथ द स्टूडेंट एंड द एग्जामिनर बॉडी, तो ये कॉस्ट बीच में से एलिमिनेट हो जाती है। अब इंस्पेरा सेटअप करने की, यस देयर इज अ हैवी इन्वेस्टमेंट एट द टाइम ऑफ इनिशियल heavy investment है, but once you have the platform, then you can keep on building upon it. It will save you a lot more money in the future and it will be quite quick, because बीच में हमारे पास अकेली एग्जाम कंडक्ट करने की कॉस्ट नहीं आती, हमारे पास बीच में लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट्स भी आ जाती हैं ट्रेडिशनल एग्जाम से, जो कि इंस्पेरा जैसे जो उनसे पोर्टल्स हैं वो एलिमिनेट कर देती हैं ये कॉस्ट। सो द फ्यूचर इज वेरी ब्राइट। अराउंड मोर देन 50% ऑफ स्वीडन की जो उनसे यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं, लॉट ऑफ स्वीडिश यूनिवर्सिटीज आर गोइंग टुवर्ड्स इंस्पेरा। आज सुबह ही मैं पढ़ी थी न्यूजीलैंड की यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं वो इंस्पेरा को अडॉप्ट करना शुरू हो गई हैं। इवन अब ऑक्सफोर्ड जोन्स है उसकी काफी सारी जो कॉलेजेस हैं वो भी अब इंस्पेरा को अडॉप्ट कर रहे हैं। सो इंस्पेरा इज द न्यू फ्यूचर नाउ ऑफ एग्जाम्स।
All right. So I'd like to thank Mr. Servikas and Ms. Normana for joining us in this highly informative session. Thank you so much. And any last words
Cheese,
for encouragement?
I would like to add one last thing. कि what I feel is मेरी जो है ना छठी थोड़ी सी काम कर जाती है during exams. I feel this year papers are going to be tougher. Papers are going to be tricky. ठीक है, क्रिमिनल में आप देख लें पार्ट ए इतना इनकम्पेंसिंग है, उसमें इतना कुछ ऐड हो चुका हुआ है कि मुश्किल हो सकती है। सो बच्चों को मेरी एडवाइस यही होगी, देयर इज टाइम लेफ्ट, वी आर अवेलेबल, वी आर हियर टू हेल्प, प्लीज आओ, बैठो, बात करते हैं, रास्ता निकालते हैं, हल बनाते हैं, एंड वी आर गोइंग टू वर्क टुगेदर। माय इंटायर लॉ डिपार्टमेंट जो हमारा जितने शहरों में काम कर रहा है, वी आर here to help and I believe I can on behalf of Ma'am Normana and her team as well Okay, we are here to help. We can work 24 hours with you. आए आके हमारे साथ help सीख करें. We are going to help you, but एग्जाम्स को easy नहीं लें. This is a different condition. एग्जामिनर ने आपको बहुत अय्याशी कराई है 2 साल. अब it is about time के things get serious. So please plan beforehand and let us know whatever help you need. And जैसे मैं महा ने mention किया था, I'm really excited to tell about our own Instagram page, TMUC School of Law. I request everyone to follow it for daily updates. And as my Maha said, this recording is also going to be there. Sorry, Maha, I'm taking a lot of time. थोड़ी सी excitement है वो
No,
बोल
sir.
रही है.
Thank you so much. All right, Ma'am Nomana, thank you. Oh yes.
I just saw a question over here which says, won't exam be automatically uploaded? Now, I want to make clear this to students that what happens is that once you are done with your exam, you will be shown a submit button. You will select that button, click that button. जब आपकी एक दफा फाइल सबमिट हो जाएगी ना, फिर वो आपको देगा ऑप्शन एग्जिट एप्लीकेशन. जब एग्जिट एप्लीकेशन आएगा ना, उसके बाद एक ग्रीन बार आपको नजर आएगी आपकी स्क्रीन के ऊपर. वो ग्रीन बार को रुकना, वो थोड़ी देर बिल्कुल खाली रहेगी, उसमें कुछ नहीं. उसके अंदर लैग आ सकता है फ्रॉम 10 सेकंड से लेके 1 मिनट तक का लैग आ सकता है डिपेंडिंग ऑन योर इंटरनेट. प्लीज wait, do not press any other button and at that time आपने किसी कुछ नहीं करना. जब वो छोटी सी बार होगी पतली सी ग्रे कलर की, कुछ देर बाद वो ग्रीन होना शुरू हो जाएगी. उसके अंदर परसेंटेजेस आ रही होंगी 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 100% तक जब चली जाएगी वो एकदम बंद हो जाएगा. आपका इंस्पेरा ऑटोमेटिकली बंद हो जाएगा. देन आप कह सकते हो आप आराम से चलो. ठीक है, you can leave. And I think that's it.
That's about it for this session. If there are any other questions, please feel free to contact us. You can contact us by coming to the university. We are available here for you to facilitate you till the last day and the examinations. And I would just wish you all the best of luck. Just stay focused. Have good intentions towards the exam. Do hard work. This is the time for you to study, to prepare, and inshallah everything is going to be great on the day of exam and later as well. Thank you so much, Ms. Nomana Sarvakas. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.